Patron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. This is your first time here. I am the big fella Scruff, and what I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good and you're going to find value in what I'm about to do take a second to hit the subscribe button. Genuinely helps. And if you do find value, smash the like, share to your friends, all that sort of stuff, and we'll crack on. So what are we doing? Well, I've put a little test order in on euro dollar, and what I'm looking for is maybe around 10 pips on it. Now I have already done a breakdown of this for the guys in the squad, but what I'm going to do is kind of show you it as well. So if you bear with me, I'm just going to fire up the screens and I'll show you. But when it comes to trading, what I'll say is keep it as simple as you can. You know, it's always going to be your levels, and it's always going to be sort of in the moment, shall we say. That's the way I do things, because I'm not a lover of rollback charts. I think you should see it as it happens. That's the way forward for me. So what I'll do is I'll break down this chart. I've already got a test order in. It's right on the extreme of where I want to be, but it can still generate some money. Now yesterday, if you've seen the videos, you saw me do that lot. Now what we're looking at here is a continuation of this move here. Okay, now it's broke through there, as you can see on this 5-minute chart, this level here. I'll show you where that came from. And there's where it's picked the order up. And I just fired it in because it looked like it has signs, and it looks like it's coming here to this blue dotted line here. Now that's about 10 pips. Quite happy with that. All right. But I'm also prepared to scale in as this moves against me, because this could easily come up to this blue line. All right, and why? Top of the range here, you can see the cluster point, you can see an overextended candle. It could come back to this. It's not a big shake, and if it just runs up a little bit and then rolls over, I can still capitalize on this. But let's have a little look at it, shall we? This is the premise of the trade. All right, this bit here. Okay, and if we look at this strong directional move, this bit, you can see you've got an overextended candle here and a sustained move. If I drop a fib onto that, from there up to the top, you can see it started here, the end of this run, first green candle, and then up it goes. That gives us these levels that you've seen me marking. All right, simple stuff. They are just key Fibonacci levels. All right, but what else can we see? Well, we can see the rejection of this up here. It's come down, it's found this level, which was one of the key fibs, stalled, dropped into a higher time frame fib, which is this one, down into the next one, stall, down into the next one, stall. So the next logical one is here. And if we look to the left, it's where the market has stalled out before. So it's quite a simple trade. In fact, it's a very, very easy trade, you know, because it's just coming down and following. Now, if we step this out a little bit further and we start in the daily, you can see it's come down, it's come all the way up. There again, this level is held solid, but now we've got all of this to play with as well. So we do have a deeper target in amongst all of this, which is this. Now we've got this big move here, which has come down and it's been cancelled out by that drop. Start again, and that's how markets work. They move up, they go down, they move up, they come down. Very, very simple. Get the Fibonacci on. You can see that the first candle is there. Yes, there is a wick below it, but I'm going off the first candle to there. There's the 50%. Bang on these two stall points on a daily, so it can take some time to get down here. But that, if we look, marries up to the 38. So again, that is a good target point. Very, very simple. This is all high time frame concepts, guys. Drop it into 4 hour. You can start seeing it a little bit more clearly. You know, you can see the move. And then there's the acceleration, flushes out, and then the rollover back down into these levels. So I'm quite happy with this trade. I'm quite happy to just let it play out. It is euro dollar. Takes a while to play out. So just push that back. See, it's pushing up, but it's not really strong. So we'll just keep half an eye on it. Now, just so that you can kind of see what I'm up to. Now, for the guys, I've already done the breakdown, told them exactly what it is I'm looking at and why I'm looking at it fully in this video here. They've seen that before this trade. Now, also in this, put the Forex strength up at past 7 this morning so that you can see exactly what market I'm looking at, which is euro dollar, because it's come up in here. And then if we run through here, you can see there's the euro, pretty darn strong. There's the US, weak. Look at the change of strength. Well, there's not a great shake going on. Nothing. So there isn't any massive change in the movement. Well, if that's the case, that means it's going to continue the way it's going. And then that's picked up in the bias, which again was put out way before. It's telling you to sell it, it's telling you to be, and it's telling you it's a fair trade. It's a fair trade, it just means be a little bit conservative, about 10 pips. That'll be fine. All right. So we're happy with that. And then, like I say, you can see the movement to the downside. Drop that there. And again, to the downside. So the strength is telling you it's carrying on down. So I'm happy for this just to move up. If I take a few £100 bit of heat on, it's not that bad because I'll be adding into it and reducing the exposure. Why? Because I haven't gone in at a full position. Happy days. So let's play this out and I'll come back to you at the end. Okay guys, hope you're well. That's that trade now finished. Just kill these off before we go any further, because I have a habit of leaving them on and then waking up and thinking, oh shit, I've been triggered in. But not today. So what's happened with this? Let's have a little look at it, shall we? Well, if we go back out to the hour, as we said, our target point was here, which it has gone to the pip. All right. So that kind of illustrates how important your levels are. Now, these levels are put in probably about a week in advance, because I like to do them on a weekend, and we're now on a Friday. So these were done a week ago. And as you can see, it's come down bang on. Now, the next important levels are these ones that I've put in, which were the fib that you saw me draw. And again, if you look at how well they react as stall points, they are fabulous. And you really don't need a great deal more than that, because the chart will always show you what it wants to see. Even now, you can see it's run up and it's stalling bang on that level. So if you can work your levels out and work them out from dailies, 4 hours, all of this sort of thing, and you can see what's going on, the chart will start telling you little narratives. Now, let's just take this off a second. Everything. And I'll quickly show you something. Oh, I've left one of them on. Bugger. Glad I did that, boys and girls, because that could have been a wake-up call on Monday morning if I hadn't seen that. Let's just look at a daily and look what the daily is trying to achieve. Well, first of all, this section here is not complete. How do we know it's not complete? Because it hasn't had any kind of retracement over the top. That bit's complete, that bit's complete, but this bit not so much. Okay, now you can draw a fib in there, but the second that breaks the top, this leg is over with. All right, so you've got to be a bit careful of that. But you can look at actual completed drives and draw some levels from there. Well, you can see all of this section is contained inside of this section. So if you just want to do it quick, you can do this. There's some levels to the lowest point. We can see it, right? High, low. Get some levels in. There, right? So if you're coming off here, there's a good point of entry. Let's get these right in. There's your 38. So if you entered there, you can get out here. Very simple. Based off this. Hold it to the 50. Right. So that's there. All right. You've got to break above it. And then 1, 2, 3 days, you're hitting your 50. Based off that strong drive. All right. So this is a half decent swing trade. What would it give you if you entered at the top of there to there? There's 89 pips in 3 days. Now, if you're only looking for 20 pips a day, that's an easy trade with very little work inside it. Okay. It ran up into the next level. So if you're brave, you can take a little bit of money off here, take a bit more there, leave a bit there, and eventually see if it'll stop you out. Well, it wouldn't, because it would kept on running, because you don't move the stop till the candle's closed. So it even got up as far as there before it stalled out. So this leg, this section, is give you an entry, 1, 2, 3 decent take profits, and even 4 take profits if you're brave enough, and it stalled bang on them. And when it came back, it stopped bang on this level as well, straight down here to here. So again, you can do it in reverse, going from level to level. So we get in on this level, you think you're selling it, well, you get out here. and then you hold it as long as you can with take profits. This is a big picture version of what I do, okay? But there's some key levels from a daily. Well, let's drop this into a 4 hour and see how it's responded. Well, you can't tell me that they aren't good, clean levels. Take it into an hourly. How much cleaner is that? Moving from level to level. All you had to do was find your direction. Direction is not that difficult. You can pick your direction and move. Now here, we had a direction to the downside. From there, down it comes. Where's it looking for? It's looking for stall points and levels. Now you can tighten this up. There's the big level, a big drive rather. Started there, got up as far as there, to the collapsing point, and now we're going to drop some other levels in. I'll change the colors just so that you can see. Just make them purple for argument's sake. Just drop these in. And this is just using one mapping tool. There you go. Right. So you've got an arena from there to there. You've got a premise of short. And now all you're doing is going from level to level to level to level. Now, isn't that simple? You know, I mean, could that not be a system, a simple system that can help pay you? And to sort of prove it, you saw me start this off. I told the guys before I started, and all right, it's not the biggest trade in the world, you know, but it's half decent money for very little work is what I'm driving at. So there you go, guys. That's what I do every day. I go from level to level, look for a decent direction, and then I just wait for it to get to level and then manage the trade. Now, if I get in early, it's not a big issue as long as I've got the direction right. If I've got the direction right, it'll forgive a bad entry. And then it's just a case of managing the trade. I make more money from managing the trade using Scruffy Madness than anything else. Gets me out of trouble, reduces my exposure, and gives me a bigger upside if I'm chasing it. But one of the things that I will say is, don't chase the money, guys. Follow the process through. If you get the process right, the money will just come naturally. If you chase the money, you'll screw the process and you finish before you start. And that's the art of trading. This is a job. So it has to be treated that way. You've got set tasks that you have to perform. Certain parts of homework you have to look at. And if you think for a second it's just X marks the spot, click the mouse a couple of times. No, it's so much more than that. And that's kind of where the Scruffy Squad come in, because we take you through that journey all the time. And it's something we talk about all the time. We had a real interesting call this morning. I wasn't rightly sure where we were going to go with this morning's call. But it ended up going down a rabbit hole that I thought was very interesting. And it was that good, I'm going to watch it back because I want to revisit it next week. And these are the things we do in the face-to-face meetings. And happy days. And why? Well, we're all different. We all have different personalities and different looks. You can have three people look at the chart. One will say it's going up, one can say it's going down, and the other one can say it's going nowhere. We all look at the chart different ways. But once you have a framework and you start singing off the same hymn sheet, then you start honing your trading skills. And that's where you'll make your money. Process first. It's always process. And if you get that right, the money looks after itself. If you come into it chasing the money and then try to shoehorn the process in, well, it'll never work. You know, follow the path, and then you'll find the pot of gold at the end of it. So if you're stuck, I'm very easy found. I'll put all my contact details at the top of the comments section. Do ask your questions in the comments, or come along to the live stream on Sunday night, Ask Scruff, where we'll talk in real time and I'll try and put you in the right direction. But as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.